Looking at his statement, and as I'm sitting here,
Dr. Mashazi, you've switched off the other mic. Can you please switch it on?
oh, it's from the file. Apologies.
And again, try to pull them forward if they still can come forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Commissioner. In terms of the way the statement is crafted, as I indicated that I was on leave, but at the face value, the process cannot be valid if the competence assessment were not done. And I would request that we go back and check with HOD, HR, if indeed competence assessment were not done. Remember, we received the bundles on the 26th, and we're left with 2 days to prepare and get information. And I'm sure sitting here, they wouldn't do anything illegal without following processes. But I do not want to dwell much on it because I do not have records of the actual interview process.
I accept that, and I guess rightly so, you give them the benefit of doubt that they wouldn't do anything illegal, and neither am I suggesting that they would. Mm-hmm. And perhaps let's not detain ourselves with that. Mm-hmm. My interest is, you and I have agreed that Chief Mapie was the chair of that panel. The chair of that panel comes to this commission and says it's a 2-stage process, interview and assessment. The chair of that panel tells this committee, this commission, that after the assessment, we ought to reconvene as a panel and make our final recommendation. And he says that step never took place. Do you have challenges with that evidence that far?
I don't have challenges because it is the statement that he makes and I do not have information around it. Hence, I requested that whether if the commission allows, because Ms. Linda Kasheka will be coming to speak here, or we are given an opportunity to get information to respond to this statement.
Just one question for clarity. Did I understand you to accept that the appointment would be invalid if the competency assessment did not take place and the interview panel did not reconvene to assess the candidates on how they performed in the interviews and also on the results of the competency assessment? So did I understand you to say that you accept that if that were the position, the appointment of Brigadier Mkwanazi would be legally invalid?
Correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. And you accept, at least you've got no basis to reject the testimony of Chief Mapie at this juncture?
Correct.
And
May
you...
May I?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Dr. Mashazi, just to get your comment on what appears to be a further irregularity in this process, your IM19 that you've provided to us, that scoring sheet in that annexure bundle, the interview summary and recommendation document, it will be in your annexure bundle, and you find it at page 58.
58.
You there? All right. So you see that has got the names of panelists, and you've got Chief Mapie, Zanele Katembo, Kemi Bihari, Linda Kasheka, and then there's HR Secretariat. You see where I'm reading?
Yes,
okay. And when you look at the last column, signature, you've got 4 signatures, but only 3 are the panelists. You see that? The 4th one is HR Secretariat. And then when you go to the column with the heading approved, you've got only 2 ticks. You've got the tick by the chairperson, Mapie, and then you've got Ms. Kasheka. The other panelists haven't indicated approved or not approved, so they've indicated no position. But importantly, when you go to the next grade, which is down, you've got scoring. Panelist 1 scores Du Plessis 18, panelist 2 scores 21, 18, 17, and 19, those are the panelists. There's a panelist that did not do the scoring. Can you see that? What does that mean? Is it still a regular process where you've got a panel of, we've just gone through the panel there, the number of people, and then you have only 3 that have provided scores at this point. Is that regular in the normal course of recruitment?
It is irregular.
It's irregular. It's another irregularity about this. All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sello.
Thank you, Commissioner. You then have annexed the appointment letter as I am 20, your annexure I am 20, and that is at page 59. Now, this letter, as I read it, now before I get to the letter, you say at 133, this letter was not signed off by me, it was signed by the acting city manager at the time.
Correct, ma'am.
Who was that?
It was Mr. Maseko.
He's got a fuller name?
Mr. Togozani Maseko.
Now, when somebody is acting in one's position, normally they write their name and they designate the position as acting whatever, HOD this. Is that the normal practice?
No, they just write acting, discretion, just write acting and sign.
And they do so against a name that is not theirs. So you can write Commissioner Baloy and I. How do they determine who's the signatory?
Well, they wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And that is because this letter that you reference, his appointment letter, was actually intended to be signed by you, Dr. Imogen Mashazi, city manager. And
Correct.
somebody, some random person, you say it is Thokozani Maseko. Some random person appears to have signed and just added the word acting. And that is what constitutes Brigadier Mkwanazi's appointment letter.
I'm saying it is the process of the council. When you act, you indicate that you are acting, and I was not around, I was on leave. He indicated through writing that acting, and he signed. And I take your point that he is supposed to write his full name, that I am acting. But I can tell you honestly so that he was acting and I was on leave.
And what was his substantive position at the time?
He's an HOD for water and sanitation, and he was the acting city manager.
No, he became an acting city manager when you went on leave. But this substantive position, you say, is HOD, water and sanitation.
Water and sanitation.
Okay. You stated your paragraph 134. You make the point, at the time of appointment, you were on leave and therefore took no part in the approval process. Correct?
Correct, ma'am.
I just want to test, are you aware of the principle that when you are on leave and you delegate your powers to somebody, you retain the responsibility for actions exercised in your name by that acting appointee? Are you aware of that principle?
I am aware.
On the basis of that principle, are you willing to accept the responsibility for this, what now appears to be an irregular appointment?
I do accept.
You then say you were not part of the approval process. Then you say, I quote, the administrative finalization of the appointment But we know that that administrative finalization of the appointment was never effected because it was never finalized. The panel never concluded its exercise. Are you willing to accept that?
I do, Commissioner.
At 136, you state, in light of these facts, I'm unable to understand the basis for the allegation that I played a role in promoting or advancing Brigadier Mkwanazi's appointment. In light of the fact that, at least on the basis of his letter of appointment, your name appears on it, you explain it away by saying, actually, it was not I, because I was on leave, it was this other person we have named. Are the allegations wholly baseless that you took part in the appointment? And I'm saying this in light of the fact that it is your name that is reflected at the bottom of the appointment letter.
Let me explain that all the forms in the municipality are standard. And when they appoint or when they sign for anything, that's why there's a space where they need to indicate that they're acting. So you cannot chop and change the forms as and when. The forms, all the forms are standard, including whether it's BAC forms and whatever. But I take a point that he was supposed to write his full name and then sign as acting.
And hence my question to you, to say his name doesn't appear anywhere on this document. You take issue with the allegations that you played a role. And I'm saying now, with wisdom of hindsight and now having come to understand the challenges and what this document represents, do you contend that the allegations are wholly baseless?
The allegations are
wholly baseless. They are without merit whatsoever, and there is no basis on which they could ever be made.
Exactly.
That you so contend?
Yes.
Notwithstanding the fact that the appointment letter bears your name?
Notwithstanding?
The fact that Brigadier Mkwanazi's appointment letter bears your name, doesn't bear your signature, but it bears your name.
Correct.
Notwithstanding that?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you conclude your 136 by saying the documentary record makes it clear that the process was conducted by the appropriate officials and finalized during my period of leave. Based on our engagements this morning, you cannot stand by that statement and the concessions you have made. You cannot say that that process of appointment was finalized because we have established that it wasn't. Are you willing to make that concession?
Correct, ma'am.
Thank you. I then want to move on to question 12.
Before
Yes, Chair.
moving on, am I correct based on, I'll take you back to page 59 of the letter. At the top there it says inquiries Linda Basheka. Must have prepared this letter for signature by the city manager.
Correct, Commissioner.
All right, thank you.
Just one more thing, Dr. Mashazi. So this is an offer letter. It's a letter of appointment on page 59. And we don't have to mention the package. It's not necessary. But you see the package set out there on page 59.
Yes.
In the offer letter. And then on page 62 is a document titled Offer Acceptance Letter. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
So in that document, Brigadier Mkwanazi accepts the offer, but makes a counter offer because he says, I want my total package to be increased by some 200,000 rands. My question is, was that counter offer accepted, or his proposal that his package should be increased by close to 200,000, was it accepted? And if so, by who?
Obviously, this is mandated to the accounting officer. All the senior managers, especially the DH and the HODs, immediately they're appointed. All of them, they raise issues that they accept the appointment, but in terms of the salary difference between them and their juniors, there is a little gap, and they are allowed for as long as the salary increase or the suggested salary increase, it is not above the band that is approved by council.
So it came to you
I think so. It came
and
to
you
me.
approved it.
I think so.
But why would you have approved it if the offer letter says the package is what is set out on page 59? And please, for our purposes, you don't need to mention what his package was. Just the principle I'm debating with you. We can just discuss the principle.
The principle of approving the request by any HOD or DH, it's a principle. It's an approach that we've done to all of them, whether HOD or DH. If they make a point that the salary difference from where they are to the next level doesn't make much difference, looking at the risk